Hello, a very warm welcome to the session. Today, most of the organization does relies on robust digital infrastructure for internal as well as external processes and having efficient interface with customer. Digital infrastructure made on robust ICT drives the customer confidence as well as the user productivity. Hence, it is very much imperative for providing robust, reliable, and fail-safe WAN to be the backbone of digital infrastructure for providing optimal application experience both internally and externally. Today, this session will be all about knowing fail-safe capabilities which help mitigating the blackouts and brownouts in ICT ecosystem. The session will give details on feature and fail-safe capability of Citrix SD-WAN solution and how it plays a very vital role for digital growth of your organization and your businesses. Hi, this is Vijay Ramani from Citrix SD-WAN product management team. I will share key feature of Citrix SD-WAN solution which help achieve fail-safe ICT infrastructure. There is an interesting reason behind putting this picture of plane flying with one engine, while other engine has caught fire. I think aviation industry has done excellent job of adopting most optimum fail-safe capability with principle of backup of backup. In current time, internal and external IT system are more critical as they do support on revenue. In a typical IT-enabled organization today, users and customers engage with multiple systems, leveraging information and IT services internally and externally to perform work, doing interaction, and get business growing. As the number of systems, data, users grow, along with reliance on analytics and system interdependencies, the need of having fail-safe ICT infrastructure has become multifold. With so much reliance on ICT infrastructure, every minute downtime causes business loss and employee productivity. In the industry today, many organizations consider fail-safe or resilience limited to WAN link uptime only. There are a couple of reasons behind this. Primarily, fail-safe architecture suffers due to lack of adequate budgets, and other major reason is lack of mindset to adopt fail-safe architecture in totality. Okay, let's view top causes of ICT blackout and brownouts happens in a production network. It is evident from several studies that traditional WAN networks and some of the plain overlay WAN solution does not provide mitigation to most common problem happens in ICT infrastructure. Largely the causes for most of the blackouts are due to fault in underlay links, single point of failures in end-to-end WAN circuits, and extended planned outages. Second most causes are inability of a traditional network to cope up with degradation of link performance, handling congestions, and inefficient load sharing among many available links. Third one is more related to non-standardized configuration, inefficient workflows for service provisioning and doing change management. Sometimes poor handling of dynamic routing protocol redistribution on WAN also causes routing loop in the network. Citrix has done several innovations and made application aware SD-WAN, which is able to provide mitigation to most common causes and provide targeted service availability with predictable application experience. Let's view what are the key building blocks for creating fail-safe SD-WAN solution. As we know that SD-WAN is no longer a site-to-site overlay network only. With latest innovation in SD-WAN, it has become intelligent network solution with application visibility and resiliency to provide desired application availability. So it is quite evident that for achieving consistent ICT performance, it requires to have resiliency built in at all layers, right from appliance hardware to device configuration to support multiple WAN connection with security built in. And lastly, to provide scalable cloud connection to access all the content hosted on various clouds and data centers. Now let me present the wide area network design of today and possibly tomorrow as well. To understand a high-level view, let's look at how WAN architecture has evolved in last decade. Modern WAN architecture has cloud, SaaS, and security as very important ingredients of digital ecosystem. Every branch, corporate headquarters, regional headquarters, employee working from home, mobile workforce connecting to WAN using various technologies, different access media with different bandwidth and SLA configuration. Most of the applications are being served through cloud, content delivery networks, and through centralized data center of companies. Many enterprises have adopted a cloud-first approach now and started moving to the cloud for SaaS and for leveraging centralized security platform, supporting secure edge for all kinds of connections. In a nutshell, user requests are getting served through multiple apps sitting on hybrid multiple cloud and scanned via centralized security platform in modern network today and this design is going to be adopted widely in future as well. In the slide, the central block, which shows SD-WAN solution, let's call it SD-WAN fabric, which serve efficient way to serve user requests and connect to the applications. The fabric has several components built in to provide fail-safe architecture and excellent user experience. Let's go through each of the components in detail and understand key feature of Citrix SD-WAN solution. First component is SD-WAN appliance itself. The appliance at site may be configured in high availability mode, which gives seamless switchover to secondary appliance in case of primary appliance fails. Another feature is fail-to-wire ports in appliance. This port provides mitigation against dead appliance or corruption of any kind of software or hardware within the appliance. During appliance failure, this port just does switch off traffic in and out of appliance, and it doesn't block the traffic into it. The hardware components in appliance are selected to provide high endurance. Software architecture uses memory and software such a way that it provides priority to critical tasks during high utilization of appliance and ensure device's performance. And with the fault-resilient hardware design, the application gives very high mean time between failures. Traffic pass-through configuration is very important feature when SD-WAN appliance is configured for inline mode and site involves heavy traffic with complex dynamic routing protocol. Pass-through configuration gives protection against scenario when something goes very wrong with dynamic routing redistribution from underlay to overlay and traffic stuck within the appliance. Using pass-through configuration, traffic will be forwarded to available WAN link as a last resort and prevent downtime. Let's talk about virtualized appliances. We all know that virtualization gives better scale and fault tolerance. Citrix has virtualized form of SD-WAN appliance which support all popular hypervisors. These virtualized appliances are also available to deploy on leading cloud providers. Let's now talk about network and security. Citrix SD-WAN supports multiple links in active-active mode for providing per-packet load balancing. It connects to all popular WAN technologies for connection to the cloud, enterprise data centers, and branches. Citrix overlay routing protocol is designed for continuous control updates about path quality, bandwidth availability to provide desired QoS and QoE in real time. One of the most important features of Citrix SD-WAN solution is dual and QoS. This feature ensures that there is no congestion caused by one site while sending traffic to the other sites. This mechanism ensures that end-to-end optimum bandwidth utilization and signal back all the QoS information back to the source site. Citrix supports hierarchical control plane for large-size network deployment to mitigate risk of entire network failure due to control plane outages or maybe incorrect routing distribution in overlay network. Additionally, every controller may be configured in high availability mode as well as in geo-redundant mode to provide disaster recovery if primary data center controller gets completely isolated. With adaptive traffic steering and selective packet duplication capability, solutions give flexibility to set loss sensitivity to provide mitigation against packet loss, high jitter, and high latency scenarios. For mitigating potential cyber attacks, Citrix SD-WAN has built-in ICSA certified stateful firewall in every appliance. The extensive firewall policy framework provides isolation among network zones to set desired configuration for applications or network access. Citrix also has advanced edge firewall capability with add-on license to provide advanced mitigation for finer internet access controls. Okay, now let me give interesting feature of software and configuration of appliance. Software is hardened with security to avoid any unsolicited configuration and access. The appliance only gets configured with proper privileges and in predefined workflows and templates. This is to avoid any misconfiguration which may cause downtime in running network. Each change management triggers audit check and highlights any potential risk of running that configuration in production. Orchestrator stores all configuration copies and may be used in case of bringing that device back to network or doing appliance change. Okay, now let's understand very important part of overall Citrix SD-WAN solution, and that is its management and orchestration capability. With cloud-hosted orchestration layer gives complete control and manageability. It is also hosted on multiple geos to provide redundancy. Additionally, every session initiated by appliance to the orchestrator is secure and all are pre-authenticated. To provide necessary security from Day 0. Automated zero-touch deployment process ensures only authorized and validated devices can participate in customers' SD-WAN domain. To mitigate possible problem of management connection from device to orchestrator, Citrix SD-WAN support both out-of-band management as well as in-band management. The complete FCAPs are provided with automated policy framework with APIs to have error-free operation with single pane of glass of management. Since we all know, cloud and SaaS are very important pillars in modern digital ecosystem. Citrix SD-WAN has ready-to-use APIs, templates, and cloud on-ramp connection to leverage resilient, scalable connection to popular cloud and applications. Citrix SD-WAN has presence on Azure, AWS, and Google Cloud as a virtualized appliance and has ready-to-use templatized configuration and policy framework to use in SD-WAN domain. Citrix SD-WAN also has ready integration with Azure Virtual WAN to provide reliable and secure connections if customers want to leverage Azure Virtual WAN along with Citrix SD-WAN. This gives a single pane of glass for management and use both together Azure Virtual WAN as well as Citrix SD-WAN. Recently, Citrix has added capability to support AWS Transit Gateway so that any customer uses AWS Transit Gateway, it can be seamlessly integrated with Citrix SD-WAN solution. Okay, now let's talk about application awareness. Citrix SD-WAN has extensive application visibility with more than 4,500 applications. This gives visibility, control, and ensures predictable performance for majority of business-critical applications. Citrix SD-WAN also has risk configuration templates, policy framework driven by application sets, and rule for providing adaptive QoE and QoS to ensure target application performance even in case of blackout and brownout happens in WAN connections. Okay, now let's talk about target outcome from all capabilities which I have just mentioned. These outcomes are in compared to traditional WAN or some of the simply overlay WAN networks to Citrix SD-WAN. First point is about static and interrupted traffic steering during WAN link failures in traditional WAN to dynamic and seamless traffic steering during WAN link failures in Citrix SD-WAN. This capability reduces the risk of having brownouts. Second point is about configuration errors. In a traditional WAN, the configuration are semi-automated and many times out-of-date templates. While in Citrix SD-WAN solution, this can be mitigated by using zero-touch deployment with templatized configuration, which ensures no downtime and having accelerated deployments. Third point is about QoS and QoE. Traditional WAN does not have application awareness, and all the QoS configuration are network-centric only. While in Citrix SD-WAN, adaptive application-driven QoS and QoE policies are getting in action within sub-seconds for link or device failure scenarios. Fourth point is about management of network. In the legacy WAN, the management of network was not considered as critical, and due to that, network was uncontrollable during outage of management systems. In SD-WAN, the orchestrator is cloud-hosted, and with redundancy among cloud regions, make it always on. Finally, to summarize, last point is about fail-safe capability. Traditional WAN consider resiliency only at network layer and manages to keep high link uptime, while in Citrix SD-WAN is complete framework to provide resilience at all the layers. We have spoken about features which help building Failsafe ICT infrastructure. It is very important to have right execution for adopting Failsafe capability to have resilient WAN for supporting goal of application performance. I have jotted down high-level steps for deploying SD-WAN architecture in your network. First, the execution starts with identifying application availability needs and assessment of performance benchmark. It involves application profiling, mapping of user group within WAN endpoints, and failure scenario mapping with each of the use case. Second, for efficient planning and designing, the key aspect to consider are having adequate ICT resources, comprehensive SD-WAN design, and its integration with LAN, servers, data center, and cloud resources for each of the use case and application. Third, during deployment phase, it is very important to leverage predefined workflows, configuration templates, and APIs to have fail-safe SD-WAN solution deployed with automated policy framework implemented. And lastly, operation and sustainability. With adaptive and automated orchestration layer, the management of SD-WAN networks, KPI report, live dashboard, and user feedback will help for having efficient operations, and carrying out improvements. Herewith, we have reached to the end of the session. Hope it was very useful to you for knowing Citrix SD-WAN solution and its fail-safe capabilities. I thank you everyone for investing your time and having this presentation. Have a nice day ahead. Thank you.